Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer Online action. We're going to be taking the Warriors of Chaos, and we're facing up against the Greenskins. And I do have indeed a Chaos Lord on a horse. Decided to give the Filth Mace a try, because it does cause terror, which can potentially be good against the Greenskins. This Lord option is also fairly cheap in this guise, with just the Filth Mace, Standard Die, and the Potion of Toughness. Makes him a pretty decent combatant. We've got him backed up by the Swords of Chaos here. In the main line, it's 2 Chaos Marauders with 4 Forsaken, 2 on each flank, one of them, of course, being the Demon Spew. We've also got 2 units of Chaos Knights with Lances, 1 here, 1 pushing forward over here. And I do believe that's about it for my build. I think there's a, Chaos Sorcerer, Lore of Shadows. He's mixed in here. He's got the map-wide speed buff, as well as Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma and the Withering. So, very good stuff. Let's take a look at the green skin player. In this kind of massive infantry here, we've got 3 black orcs, one of them being the Crimson Killers. Looks like 2 gobos to back them up, with an orc boy in the center, 3 Night Goblin Archers, one of them being Rusty Heirs. He's also got an Orc Shaman with Foot of Gork. Here we go. Gaze of Mork, I believe that is, and Fists of Gork as well. He's also got a Giant and the Hammer of Gork, or Goblin Rock Lobber. So very fun stuff. I've also got Vanguard deployed in this forest here, currently hidden 2 units of Marauder Horsemen. So definitely a nice sneaky play there. We're going to be able to use that to good effect. Let's go ahead and kick things off. So, seeing that my opponent has an artillery advantage, I'm going to go ahead and push across the ridge here. This giant, divot that the huge Warpstone Comet, I guess, has plowed through here. So we're going to go ahead and advance across. I'll go ahead and fast forward just a minute here. My opponent's going to kind of come and set up in this position here. He'll go ahead and spread his forces out a little wide, seeing that my forces are also spread very wide. I'm also going to sneak these Marauder Horsemen out, and my opponent does not quite catch them in time, so we're going to be able to get in on this Hammer of Gork here and shut it down from firing, which is a nice play. We'll go ahead and watch this here in cinematic as these gobos take a happy javelin day and then get charged down by the Marauders, so they're not going to be too happy about that. Meanwhile, on this flank, we're going to get in just being really aggressive with these Chaos Knights with Lances, not really fearing too much about any of these units here. Just going to plow straight in and do a ton of damage there. Foot of Gork whiffed there. Probably should have waited until I charged all the way in, but, I definitely understand the idea. Night Goblin Archers getting crushed. Black Orcs took a bit of shock damage there, lost 1 unit model, but my Chaos Knights now need to pull back away because they're taking quite a bit of damage from those Black Orcs. Over here, these Marauder Horsemen have finished off that Hammer of Gork, shattered its crew, and are going to be pitching their javelins here at the Giant, which is very nice. Giant has low armor, and he'll take a ton of damage from those javelins. My opponent's wisely dispatching some goblins over here, but we'll be able to mow them down with the Chaos Knights with Lances. Meanwhile, the mainline fight is going down. These gobos are getting mashed up against Forsaken, which is definitely not a place they want to be. You can see these gobos getting ridden down by the Chaos Knights with Lances, so very fun stuff. The Orc Shaman looks like he's throwing down here we go, in Fists of Gork here. Over here we threw down an Overcast, the Withering. Unfortunately, it only caught this unit of Black Orcs. I meant to catch these 2, but, it's alright. Grimgor's getting through. He's kind of chasing around the Chaos Sorcerer. Well, I guess the Chaos Sorcerer ran over there. He's not going to be heading over here to try and get on this Chaos Lord. The Swords of Chaos doing a very nice amount of damage here to the Crimson Killers and these Black Orcs with their armor-piercing anti-infantry. They're also going to get in here and pop the Filth Mace, which will then terrify away these Rusty Heirs. So, very nice. Most of my opponent's units were immune to Psychology, so unfortunately the Filth Mace didn't end up being wildly useful, but, it was alright. We are doing some poison to Grimgor as well. No, I thought it imbued poison. Oh, there we go. Probably getting some poison in there now. No, still nothing. Interesting. So, it looks like Grimgor is mostly just getting knocked around and not actually taking any damage there, which is a bit unfortunate, but, we'll be able to do alright. The Swords of Chaos are going to be helping out this Chaos Lord, do some damage on him. Pushing through. Unfortunately, the terror wore off, and the Rusty Heirs came back from routing, but another charge into them, and they'll be gone. These Chaos Knights with Lances as well, just riding through here after having collapsed on that flank. And a very cool-looking unit, one of my favorite units in the game, just in terms of the aesthetics. And against the Greenskins, they are wildly effective. I mean, they're just super strong units in general, but they are very expensive, so you typically don't see more than 1 to 2. But we'll go ahead and watch these guys face off against these Crimson Killers and the Black Orcs here. And they're definitely in for a tough time. We're going to be dropping 1 more Overcast the Withering just to break the last of their leadership here, and that will pretty much be game for Grimgor. So getting completely surrounded and mowed down by these Knights and Forsaken and everything. So Yeah, you don't necessarily need AP. You know, a lot of people, you will bring the kind of elite armor-piercing tier of units, you know, like great swords, black orcs, and so on. But honestly, you don't necessarily always need to bring armor-piercing to counter that. I mean, the Chaos Warriors with great weapons are a very good, very cost-effective unit. But if you want to do a different kind of build, you know, you can do something like this, where you bring the Withering to sunder their armor and use Forsaken and Chaos Knights and other things to deal shock damage and, you know, to sunder armor. You guys know I'm a big fan of the armor debuffs. So a lot of kills on these Chaos Knights, 93 here and 123 here. Absolutely, definitely want these guys to pay off, and they definitely did. The Forsaken got a little bit chewed up by the Black Orcs here. The Marauders were mostly matched up against Gobos, so they did fairly well. But the Marauder Horsemen as well being very useful, taking out that Hammer of Gork early on, and dealing with that Giant. You guys didn't see it through most of the battle because it was off chasing away after those Marauder Horsemen, just taking javelins, so it didn't really play too much in the battle. The Swords of Chaos also doing very well, helping to carve through the Crimson Kills. Only 30 kills on these guys, you definitely would want to see more. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching that. Definitely enjoyed playing, so you know what, let's do one more. That one was pretty short, so let's go ahead and get one more battle in here. Why not? Why not? We can load this one up. So in this battle, I'm going to be taking the Empire, as you guys can see, up against Bretonnia, and bringing my Emperor Franz build. I've changed it up a little bit from what you guys typically see. We've got a front line of just swordsmen instead of flagellants. I also switched out all the free company for just the silver bullets here, and we've also got the Hammer of Witches. Since this is a very open map, we should be able to get some good value out of that, shooting down some of these knights. My opponent's got Louen Leoncoeur. He's up on a Pegasus, which is an interesting choice. You don't often see him there. We've also got a Lore of Heaven's Damsel, again very interesting, not a very common pick. 4 men-at-arms with shields with 1 unit of, let's see, Foot Squires and the Beast Slayers of Bastogne, Grail Relic, 2 units of Peasant Archers, 2, let's see, oh, these guys are Questing Knights with the Regiment of Renown, as well as the Regiment of Renown Knights Errant, and 1 unit of Royal Pegasus Knights. So definitely a pretty heavy air force, and this is why I bring Emperor Franz on a horse, on the ground, you know, against Bretonnia, because it's definitely a risk to bring a Griffin. I mean, potentially with the Nets of Amontok Wizard here, I could potentially catch his air force and, you know, gun them down and everything. But it would be a major risk, and I don't trust my micro that much always, so it's a little bit safer to bring somebody on the ground here. Carl's got the Reikland Runefangs, stand your ground and hold the line. We've also got the Bray Shaman. He's got the Dwellers Below, well, which I'm not going to end up using here. I think I'm honestly going to stop using this. The Earthblood as well, and Light Wizard with the Nets of Amontok. Just the Nets of Amontok, and this guy's, he's only about 400 gold, so very, very cheap. We've also got, of course, the 4 Reiksguard, one of them being the Zindler's Reiksguard, and it's going to be a good time. We're kind of deployed across here, and seeing that I have an artillery advantage, my opponent is going to be pushing forward. Right now we've got these this Hammer of Witches targeted on the Companions of Connell, which is very good. They have physical resistance, so the magic damage of the Hammer of Witches is going to be very good there. This is a bit of a mistake by my opponent, flying in these units over here. Of course, these silver bullets do have stock, so he can't see them right now, but they're flying right into the range of the silver bullets, and it's going to be a bad day for them. The Royal Pegasus Knights do have the physical resistance as well, but of course, with the silver bullets, with their magic missile damage, will cut right through that, so it's going to be a bad day for the Pegasus Knights. You can see them now opening fire over here. And my opponent definitely needs to move these guys off over here and, you know, just kind of bide his time and be a little bit more patient. I am moving my Light Wizard over just in case he reacts. We can get a nice Nets of Amontok and stop these guys in their tracks. So, you know, we're shooting through the trees, not doing as well as we could, but doing quite a bit of damage still, and now they're responding, so we're going to go ahead and drop that Nets of Amontok there. That was an overcast, so these guys will be here for quite some time, just taking silver bullets right to the face. The Hammer of Witches as well, generating some really nice value. My opponent went and hid these Companions of Connell in the forest, which is a very good pick. You know, didn't want to have them continuously get shot, so instead we're going to switch over to this other unit of Questing Knights, do some nice damage there, take about 4 unit models in that volley, so very good stuff. Meanwhile, my opponent's just continuing to advance. His main line here, swordsmen should be able to beat men-at-arms without too much issues, so I'm not too worried about this main line. The Foot Squires and the Beast Slayers of Bastogne are a bit more of a concern, but you can see these Royal Pegasus Knights just barely coming off their nets and still not being microed. They're down to about a third of their HP, already dropped 5 unit models, and they're going to be going off the battlefield relatively shortly after having gotten 0 kills, so that's a big mismicro by my opponent and definitely going to be tough to come back from, losing that many resources, but we'll see. Balance of power isn't wildly in my favor. It is slightly in my favor. Over here, I missed the engagement, but the Zindler's Reichsguard got charged by the defenders of the Fleur-de-Lis, and then my other Reichsguard countercharged in against these questing knights here. We're going to bring up some spears for support. My opponent dispatching one unit of men-at-arms over here. Karl Franz is going to attempt to intercept them, but then Louen Liancourt is going to come down, and we're going to get a nice duel between the king and the emperor here. Across the main line, swordsmen just fighting up against men-at-arms. Definitely a conflict of men here. We can see Leuen's now come down, and him and Franz are going to be battling it out as they kind of chase each other around for a minute and then realize this is time. So, you know, just in a one-on-one battle like this, without Louen having the hardcore armor-piercing Beaky or a Hippogriff, it's going to be a bit tougher for him to win, although the regeneration will play into his favor as well. He actually has quite a bit better melee defense than Franz as well, but with the Reikland Runefang, he's up to 99 melee attack, so he will be making pretty good contact there. You can see him doing some nice armor-piercing damage. But this fight isn't going as well in my favor as I would have liked, so we're going to go ahead and just net these guys down and pull Franz away. Meanwhile, in the main line, we are fairly effectively carving through these peasants. The swordsmen are trading well here, and the Reichsguard have charged into the front lines here and mopped up quite a few of these swordsmen as well, going to be pushing through the rear. You can see many of the swordsmen broken here. Beastslayers of Bastogne trying to get in on the Reichsguard, but unfortunately they're getting mucked up by all these state troops. So a Hammer of Witch is continuing to fire over here. Franz is now pulled back, and Louen being in the net, he was able to get off the ground somehow, but it's going to be shot at by the silver bullets here. And, you know, he's out on the edge of their range, so he won't take too much damage, but it's going to be, as he tries to fly over here and get on Franz, which is what he should be doing, he's going to take a lot of bullets to the face. You know, maybe he shouldn't be going after Franz, maybe he should try and come support this battle, but at this point the balance of power is pretty heavily in my favor. It's going to be tough for the Bretonnians to come back. The state troops just winning the center line, the Reichsguard cleaning up a lot of these routing units, the Beastslayers of Bastogne just not able to hold against this many numbers. I mean, they do have a decent amount of armor, what is it, 80? But it's not going to be enough to stand up to all this. Over here, the Hammer of Witch is still just firing away. Louen did come in briefly and fought Franz for a few swipes and then decided it wasn't for him. He's going to go back home to Bretonnia. So, well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed that one as well. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Reichsguard. They're an excellent unit and really carrying the day here. The Hammer of Witches as well. 46 kills on high-tier cavalry is very, very nice. Silver Bullets taking out those Royal Pegasus Knights was more of a mistake on my opponent's part, but that's why you bring these guys, because they can potentially, you know, because they have stock and the heavy armor piercing and everything, they can potentially do quite a bit of damage. So, state troops performing admirably in the front line. This is one matchup where they will do well. The Spearmen as well doing okay. Nets were very important. We didn't use the Jade Wizard much, just a couple heals. I think honestly in the future I'll drop Dwellers Below just to get a bit more funds. But yeah, Franz doing well also. When Louen came down and dueling him, you know, he didn't lose hardcore. If Louen had been on the on Beaky, I definitely would have immediately netted him and pulled him back. But you know, he traded okay there. I probably could have left him in there, to be honest. But oh well. Well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming every day with more, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.